Okay, what we're going to do today is have a look at forming and solving equations. Now, it's really interesting because I can't go through every possible example that there is of forming and solving equations. So you're going to have to try and use some of the facts you know about shapes or what they give you in the question, okay? So example 1, they've told us that this is a rectangle, okay? They want us to find the perimeter and the area of the rectangle above. Now it seems quite tricky since we don't know what x is. We've got 5 centimeters here, we've got 5 centimeters here. I'm making the assumption that this is all in centimeters. But what we do know about a rectangle is opposite side lengths are the same size. So we can draw ourselves an equation. We can actually say, well, 4x minus 3 must be equal to 6x minus 9 because opposite side lengths are the same. Now we have an equation and we might be able to solve this to find out what the value of x is. So the first thing to do is to remove the smaller amount of x. Now 4x is smaller than 6x, so I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. I'm going to be left with minus 3. Let's put minus 4x over here so we know what we're doing. Okay, and we take we'll minus 4x away from the 6x to get 2x, and that leaves us with minus 9. Now I want all the numbers that are on their own without x's onto the other side as well. So I need to undo this minus 9 by adding 9 to both sides. Okay, if I add 9 to minus 3, I get 6. So I know 2x is equal to 6. I only want what 1x is, so I divide by 2. Therefore, x must be equal to 3. Now that I know that x equals 3, I can substitute that into these expressions to find the opposite length. It doesn't matter which one because I know they're the same length anyway. So what have we got? We got 4 lots of x. Well, x is equal to 3. So 4 times 3. Take away 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 take away 3 is 9. So we know these side lengths are 9 centimeters. Okay, and this one because opposite side lengths are the same length. Okay, so I have all my 4 side lengths. To work out the perimeter, we add them all together. The perimeter is the distance around the outside. So it's 5 plus 5 plus 9 plus 9. And that's 10, 19, 28 centimeters. And the area of a rectangle is just the length times the width, or the base times the height. And that's 9 times 5, which equals 45 centimeters. And because it's area, it's squared. Okay. So the trick here, whenever you're dealing with algebra and shapes and angles and stuff like that and lengths, is to try and identify what you already know about the shapes. Whether the opposite side lengths are the same, whether the angles are the same. What is it about this shape that's special? Okay. So let's have a look at example 2. The area of the triangle is 54 centimeters squared. That's really important, okay? We need to use that. Find the perimeter of the triangle. Well, I could say that it's 3x plus 4x plus 5x. So if I can work out what x is, I can find the length of that perimeter. Now, how do we work out the area of a triangle? Well, that's base times height divided by 2, okay? So the base of this triangle is 3x. The height of this triangle is 4x. And I need to divide it by 2. What do I know this area is equal to? 54 centimeters squared. So we know it's equal to 54. Let's just simplify this a tad. 3x times 4x is 12x squared, because x times x gets me x squared. 3 times 4 gets me 12, and then I divide by 2, and that equals 54. Well, 12 divided by 2 is 6. So I've got 6x squared equals 54. I'm getting close to solving this and finding out what x is equal to. I want to get x on its own, so why don't I get rid of this times by 6 by dividing by 6? And then I'm left with x squared. 54 divided by 6, 9. Okay, so I want to undo a squaring, so that means I square root. And I can square root both sides. Square root of x squared is just x. Square root of 9, the number you times by itself to get 9 is 3. So I've worked out that x equals 3 here as well, actually. So I want to work out the perimeter. I now know what x is. So why don't I just write 3x plus 4x plus 5x equals 12x. So the perimeter is 12x. X is equal to 3. 12 times 3 equals 36 centimetres. And that's your answer. Right, questions will differ. Alright, the maths you use will differ. The understanding here is to use a little bit of algebra and all that knowledge you have about shapes and angles and whatever it is, okay? And try and work out what the value of x is. Use the information they give you. Alright, have a great day.